Hey everybody, what's up? So today I want to do a quick little update. So VRChat just rolled out their mobile version for Android. Uh, if you haven't looked up what that is, or you haven't seen it in the Discord for VRChat, so what it is they launched a mobile version for Android phones. They haven't launched one for iPhone yet. It's a little bit harder to program for iPhone apparently with the way VRChat is. Apparently iOS and VRC and Unity just don't get along. However, as soon as I got home from work, I went ahead and downloaded it to become a tester in the alpha, and just to give it a try to see what it's about. And there's some good and bad there. Like, I want to give it a fair chance. When they first announced the mobile version of VRChat rollout, a lot of the first reaction was, oh dear God, every freaking child with a cell phone is going to be downloading the game now, which on VRChat's side is kind of a genius move. It gets a lot of influx of users. However, let's all face it, this is not a child-friendly app. Children really shouldn't be here. So if you're a parent, maybe use those parental controls and don't let your kids download VRChat. And because the next thing that's going to happen is kids are going to get into these public lobbies, and like we all have a problem with, the Christmas questies. It's going to be 1,000 times worse because now pretty much anybody can access it. However, slight caveat, you do have to have a VRChat Plus membership to use it. So that will help narrow how the people getting into it. So it's not just anyone can download it and then get into it. You actually have to be a subscriber to use the service. Now, that being the big negative that I see, there are some net positives. Like, for instance, if I decide to go travel somewhere, like if I want to go to like Wyoming or something like that, I can't really pack up my PC along with my index, base stations, full body. It'd be way too much, and I've spent so much money on my computer. Where it's at is where it's staying. hand sorry. Where it's at is where it's staying. I don't like to move it more than I already have to. So, and since I don't own a Quest, if I wanted to hang out with my friends in VR, I can just get on my phone and go hang out with them, and maybe cast my phone to like the hotel TV screen, or if I'm staying at a B&B, cast it there, and still have access to my avatars. Now, you only have it's basically the Quest version. So for those of you that aren't on Quest or have only ever been in VRChat in PC, you get to see what Questies see. So that limits the worlds that you can go to, and that limits the avatars that you can use. So it's basically, think of it like this. It's desktop, but Quest version. So it's not terrible. I would say, give it a fair shot. Like, I have my issues with VRC and how they handle things, but for people that travel or people that don't have access to VR and can't afford it, or people that, can't afford to have a laptop or something like that, this gives them a chance to experience, the culture that is VRChat, whether that be good or bad. But for me, it's for traveling purposes. Like, I can travel and go on vacation and still talk to my friends when we do our weekly meetups on Fridays. Now, I will say there are a couple things I noticed because I tested it for about an hour, and I noticed that my phone got really, really hot. Like, and I only tested it in private instances. So, like, I just created a new instance, go to a Quest compatible world, explore around and whatnot. There is a lot to render there for your cell phone. So, if you got a thick case on it like I do on mine, it's gonna warm up. No big deal, just be sure to take breaks. Maybe take your case off. That might help with your thermals. I'm sorry, my dogs are going nuts. And then the next thing I noticed while testing it is you don't have access to your radial menus. So if you have avatars that have different clothing options or customizations options, like this one does, you don't have access to that. Whatever the base model you uploaded in Unity is, that's what you're going to get. That's what you're stuck with. So, again, not all bad, but it's something to look out for, and it might be added on in a future update. Again, this is the first version. It's still early alpha. There's potential there. And then the next thing I noticed is there's a couple of ways to control. Like, you can they have a little control wheel that you move forward, left, and right, and then the other one is to look. But you can also double tap the screen, and it'll automatically send you walking forward in whatever direction you're looking. So you can sit there and play it one-handed just fine, and you still have your desktop controls like your standing, crouch, and jump, and prone, I believe. But yeah, that's just about it. That's just my little update on it. Again, early alpha. There's potential there. Keep your fucking kids off of it. Kids don't need to be in VR chat. We don't like them anyway. At least my group. Other than that, yeah, I would say, test it out and give it a shot. If you don't like it, just uninstall it. It's no big deal. I'm trying to be fair here. I didn't like the idea at first, but I gave it some thought, and there is potential. Other than that, it's all subjective. It's just, these are my thoughts and my first immediate reaction to it. Other than that, we'll see where it goes. Have a nice night.